Who's the daddy? Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. So this is the second building guide for the game Fortnite. In my previous video I gave you a few beginners tips, so if you're new to the game and you've not yet watched that video, then I would maybe suggest checking that out. It's going to bring you up to speed with some of the basic building mechanics within the game. But in this video, the second video, we're actually going to be looking at a few more of the complex building mechanics that you can do. So the first thing we're going to look at once we've got a floor down is stairs. So with stairs, if we're holding down on the circle button to go into the edit, notice that these arrows in there, and you may not have quite figured this out if you're new to the game, but what you can actually do is you can change the curvature of the stairs. So I mean, if we just wanted to half those stairs to make them thinner, then we can just hold down on the R2 trigger button and then highlight each of these squares in order to say, you know, give us one thin staircase going up. We can change the direction though of which direction the staircases are going up into, and also how complex the curve is of them. Notice here this is just a bog standard kind of half the width of the normal stairs, but if we was to hold down the trigger button and then follow the squares to highlight them and then confirm it, it does actually give us the option to make curved stairs. So you can get a little bit more creative by doing this. Notice here now I've gone all the way around in a U shape. It will then actually allow the stairs to curve round. So you guys can experiment with that a little bit and come up with some wonderful creations. But one thing that we can also edit, and you may not have been aware of this, is the actual floor. Now you normally probably just lay a floor down as a base, be able to put your traps down on it, but what we can do is, again, hold down on the circle button to edit it. We can actually remove squares to actually change the shape and what the flooring actually does. Notice here now when we just remove that one square, it will actually create a wall to surround the corners of the flooring. We can do this when we're actually higher up as well. So when we put a floor down, say on top of our stairs that we just built a second ago, we can now actually take one square out of the floor and then the second and the third, and just leave one square to give us this curved corner section. So we can make the corners of our floor or roof look quite neat using these. It's just another way of being able to kind of build a structure that may look slightly different. You guys, I'm sure, will again be able to get very creative with this, but this is a little bit more complex to your beginners building mechanics. We can now do things like a smaller wall as well. So if we want to neaten off this corner as an example and go back to one of our walls, again hold down on the circle to edit, remove all the squares that we don't want to use and just leave the few that we do, and that's now going to allow us to build a smaller wall. So next, something I didn't cover in the last one is roofs. So we can put a roof on our building that we've made here. Notice when you bring up the roof, it just gives you this very small one. Again, you can actually hold down on the edit button to be able to remove certain squares. This will now change the shape of your roof. Notice here at the moment I've just created a very odd shaped one, which I'm sure you'll be able to use in certain building scenarios. But for now, what we want to do is just a good old fashioned roof on this quite large house building that we're making. So what we can do is we can actually remove these first two inner squares, which will then, as you can see, allow us to give this large roof panel. We can now add these large roof panels on, again on the other side, to make a standard style roof. What we've now got though is this huge hole at the end, this big triangle. We can actually fill that with a wall. Again, you can create a different shape with the wall in. What we want to do is again go into the wall edit section and just take off these panels here. Notice there now it's given us this triangular shape that we can now pop into the gap. Now you may have to actually get quite close to the wall in order to be able to lay it in there, but once you get close enough you will notice it pop into the gap, and there you go. Now, one thing you can also do, and you may not be aware of this yet, is you can actually upgrade your building skills in the skill tree. So you can upgrade them more than once, and when you start upgrading those skill trees, it will give you the option to be able to upgrade your buildings, which not only will give it more HP, which means it can take more damage from enemies, but it'll also mean that it changes the look of it. Now, this will keep upgrading a few times until the surfaces that you're using, may it be wood, stone or metal, will look totally different, so you will have a totally different aesthetic to it. So if you guys have found these more advanced building tips helpful, please do give the video a like, it really is appreciated. It also helps get it out there to other people who may be new to Fortnite and help them. You could also share it with your friends as well on social media if you know they're playing this, and that would be appreciated. Big shout out to all you guys playing Fortnite at the moment, and thank you for your support so far on the previous video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to help it grow. Again, that really is appreciated. And don't forget to find me on Twitch as well. I'm going to be doing some Fortnite live streams on there. It'd be really cool if you guys can, catch up with me on there, and we can discuss all your Fortnite escapades. So just watch this space for more videos, and thanks for watching. Who's the daddy?